purple yesterday. I said, God damn, that looks good. I'm going to wear that tomorrow.
We don't know if they're fighting to death, but should. Maybe.
Could be. They want
but we don't want them to die.
not?
We don't want either of them to die. We want them to shake hands. One half of the hammer. Done. Cowboys' Tone Diggs is here. And ladies and gentlemen, the face of the Indiana Pacers who just had to sit through all of that. Sorry.
I'm just learning about it.
It happened at Starbucks here in your town. Ladies and gentlemen, Olympic gold medalist, face of the NBA.
Well.
I put you in a terrible spot there. Tyrese Haliburton.
Yeah, Tyrese. We are doing the face of the NBA conversation.
Yeah, no, we are not going to do that. That is earned, obviously. That happens naturally. That is not something you give to yourself. Tyrese, fresh off a 33, 11, and 3 night. Obviously, the 11 assists, 3 rebounds. Need to get those up a little bit. I think you could probably had a triple-double if your groin was healthy. You went into the game questionable, hurt groin. 50-50, questionable going into the game. Everything we know about NBA is what?
They're going to sit out.
Mad Mel?
They're going to sit out.
Con Man?
They are going to sit out and get paid.
Especially in the middle of the season. How much money they're getting paid. 82 of these things. Hurt groin. Tyrese Haliburton says, I'm playing. Big game. We're in the middle of a hell of a stretch. We're top 4 hottest team in the NBA right now. One of the best records in 2025. Oh, must I remind you, Eastern Conference finalists last year as Tyrese pulls up from the other side of the court. How do you feel about the team? And thank you for playing through a groin injury or groin, whatever you had going on. You're the man. We appreciate you here in Indiana.
Yeah, we're playing well right now. You know, we're just fighting to get home court advantage in the playoffs in the first round. So every game is big right now. So we're trying to win every game.
Okay, so a lot of people watching our show right now are going to say, "You're at the NFL Combine. Why are we talking about the NBA?" Do you think that is a natural conversation that's happening? Like, do you guys talk about the NBA, where it sits in the zeitgeist of professional sports? Do you have any of those convos amongst each other?
No, we know who we are. We don't really trip off that. I mean, we understand. I understand. I'm here at a football program. We talk about a lot of sports, but
okay,
a lot of
sports program.
Yeah. This is a sports program, but
no, we're a sports program. Remember, that's
sports program. Heavy football.
Yeah, football.
Heavy
Still
football
first.
Maybe a little bit of hockey.
Okay, we do like the hockey.
Yeah.
We do like
maybe
the
a little
hockey.
bit of hockey.
Hockey is awesome.
Yeah, because they try.
See, that's the narrative. Why is that the narrative?
PK Subban.
Yeah, I think it's Subban, but
Subban plays.
Whatever.
Subban.
I did see that he put over the NHL in a big way, and it got a lot of views. And he was talking about the NBA's potential culture issue that they have.
Yeah.
You guys obviously all saw that. He was putting over his sport, but I think he said a lot of things that maybe other people potentially think, which is why it went so big. How do you feel about the narrative that is about the NBA? Because groin, whatever. I don't want to know what your injury was. Groin strain, can I say?
I was going to say groin soreness more than anything.
Yeah, but it don't just get sore in your groin without.
Strain makes the narrative better, so we'll go with strain.
Well, it has to.
We
there
could
has
say
to
it was
be.
torn off the bone and you played through it.
Correct, yeah.
33 through it.
Yeah, I can't believe this guy's got one half of a groin now. Lance Armstrong of groins, because he lost one half of his groin, which is crazy to think about. Played through it last night. But why do you think the narrative is that? Like, legitimately, because you disagree with that wholeheartedly, I think. Anytime we call you, you're like, that's not true about our league, though. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things, maybe misconception about the league that you disagree with.
Oh, 100%. I mean, people are just allowed to get on there and say whatever they want about our game, and it just takes one or two people to agree, hit retweet, and it's like the cool thing to say the NBA has a problem with what we do. But we're doing pretty well for ourselves, I'd say.
I would say as well, and I
Too
think
well,
some would say. That is what people are saying. It's like this much money, and then we're not going back-to-back nights, and then obviously back in the day these guys used to play, and then there's the nostalgia speech that's happening too. You're hearing all these things, I assume.
Yeah, for sure. All the talk about what the All-Star game has become and how that's such a problem, and you guys love the sitting back-to-backs. I don't think that's as true as
LeBron put on Instagram.
So I think what Tyrese is saying is like that gets a couple people are doing that, and everybody assumes that is
now
across
it's
the league.
generalized.
Yes, it's like the whole league's doing that. That's not the case.
Yeah, 100%. We talk about this all the time. I agree with that 100%. Guys want to play. We want to perform. We got older guys who are towards the end of their careers, high-level Hall of Fame guys. We got a lot of young guys coming up in the league too. So I think we all want to play.
How's quality of play right now? Obviously, All-Star Game is what it is. Pro Bowl is what it is too. I mean, there's
Pro Bowl stinks.
The NHL got it right with the Four Nations. It just so happened to be at the exact same time as yours, so it went absolutely bonkers in that entire thing. But whenever you talk about quality of play, how do you feel about it? Because like football, guys are throwing the ball better, catching the ball better, running the ball better, seeing the ball better, blocking the ball better, tackling the ball. Like everything is better. That's sports.
Yeah.
Kicking the ball better. I mean, you evolve through everything. Do you feel like that has happened with the NBA? Because my argument about LeBron Jordan is always that they play two different sports. I'm not a basketball guy. Football stooge. Watch the Lake Show growing up because I was an insomniac kid. They were on late night. Kobe, Shaq. I mean, it was an entire thing. Don't know the league inside and out. But when I watched that Last Dance with Michael Jordan and I saw some of the highlights that were happening, I was like, hold the phone now. Like, I didn't watch basketball back then. I'm from Pittsburgh, okay? Wasn't like all the way in on. It's like the sport has evolved so much. It's tough to compare. I think both would play well in both eras if they were to be talked about. But how do you feel about the current state of the game in the NBA?
Well, that conversation's interesting, right? Because when you compare eras all the time, I feel like football, you don't really do that. Like, you guys don't really talk about how this guy would fit if he played in the 90s. Like, that's not a conversation.
It's not a normal convo, but like Dan Marino modern day would be
but it's
outrageous.
But the same in any sport. Top guys are going to continue to be top guys throughout eras. But, I mean, time travel doesn't exist. And
you don't know
maybe.
that.
We don't know.
Let's not get into that.
Not that I know of.
These portals.
Not that I've been in front of yet. You know,
Okay,
hopefully
Amen.
one day.
Yeah, amen.
There's a lot of old heads I guess I have things to say about me. So.
After your next contract, they'll introduce you to it.
I heard about that. I think that's a potential Haliburton thing, not just Tyrese, right? That
What?
old heads that have a lot to say.
Oh, yeah.
Family
That-
business, if you will.
A lot of Mad Mel.
Like Ole Miss.
Mad Mel, do you have a question for Tyrese? So the quality of play, though.
I think it's up. I think just like any sport, I think guys make shots at a higher level. We got so many guys who shoot the three well, can do so many different things well. But it's just, again, it's easy to create a narrative that we all play the same. Everybody shoots too many threes.
You do.
The league is, that's not true. That's not true. The league is a copycat league, right?
Just like the NFL is.
When a team wins a championship, teams are going to start to play more like them. So in the last decade, the Warriors won a championship. How'd they do that? They shot a lot of threes, made a lot of jumpers. So teams want to do that. Now Boston's won a championship. They got 5 guys on the floor at all times that can shoot threes. So more teams, we got to shoot more threes to keep up with what they do.
So you think that this is actually a decision trying to win, like competitive juices are making these decisions, just like in the NFL. Like right now, the Eagles just won. Pounded football.
Right.
Saquon is the show.
Right.
Like AJ, obviously incredible. Devontae, phenomenal. They help with the box, obviously, because you can't bring absolutely everybody. But it's ground and pound football over there.
Yeah,
that's how they play.
People are trying to win championships, so it's the same. Like
But the amount of people that are going to now do that because of the success that they're having.
But like in the early 2000s, right? Like in Shaq's dominating, teams are trying to get 3-4 centers because they know they're going to need all of them to go foul him and try to stay in front and do their best. You got to try to keep up with the championship team. So Boston wins the most. They won a championship last year. They shot plenty threes. You can't play them and shoot all twos and expect to win that game. It's just math is not gonna work there. So you got to shoot more threes. That's how it's gonna be.
So everybody's trying to chase the top, and that's how it kind of get to that point. And he called out Boston, so I know Connor will get to his point. Mad Mel, eager to ask a question.
Yeah, just curious. Do you think, we talk about everything with the NBA right now and how guys are maybe, I don't want to say entitled, but you guys make a shitload of money. And I'm like, listen, you earned that money.
Way to go, Tyrese. Proud of you. Right, change your life.
Gold medalist.
Do you think, though, when Luka gets traded, is that kind of a wake-up call for the entire league? Like, hey, maybe shit ain't sweet, okay? Like, this guy's, a future, a top 5 player in the NBA. And out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, he gets traded. Did that send kind of a shockwave across the league? Like, okay, maybe I can't be sitting out back-to-backs anymore because if this guy can get traded, I sure as hell can get traded as well.
I mean, I feel like we all operate that way on a daily basis. I think the Luka thing might have been eye-opening that nobody's really safe. Everybody can be traded, and I think you see trades happen every year, but you don't see them to that magnitude where top 10 player gets traded for another top 10 player. That's very uncommon. So definitely came as a surprise to the NBA world, but. I think people understand what comes with the business, and everybody's going to be fine where they are.
You've been traded, and we're very thankful for it. Like here in Indianapolis, I will say. The way you go about leading the Pacers is so good for this city. Like, I think you're perfect for this city. Do you agree with that?
I appreciate Yeah, I love it here. I'm a Midwest guy, so I feel like I fit in very well here.
Yeah, but you also got the flash, too. Like
Flair.
Yeah, you do got the flair. I like it. You're a showman.
I appreciate that. It's good. I'm a fan of small market teams being good. I think that's good for the league. It's cool.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah, it is. Now let's on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Boston Connor has a question.
Yeah,
for
you mentioned the NBA champs, Boston Celtics, and I think we can all agree no one's beating them in 7 again. You know, they're looking at it back-to-back.
I don't agree with
well,
that.
I think most of us can agree that that's probably the case. And one of the biggest things we've talked about here is kind of the face of the league, and Jayson Tatum, who is turning 27, I believe, already an NBA champ. He's the only American last year who was first-team All-NBA, and he gets the most hate by far out of any of the superstars, it feels like, who doesn't really deserve it. Obviously, there's some guys that, people have problems with Embiid and things of that nature, but that's mostly because they don't play. Tatum's one of those guys that does not sit out back-to-back.
Didn't play, right, in the Olympics?
And yeah, to the Olympic point, I kind of think the reason that Jayson Tatum doesn't get that much love is because Steve Kerr. And Steve Kerr is the problem for many, many reasons, the things that he does and, talks about and appears on. But mostly, I think, because Tatum didn't get that USA push. We just saw with the Four Nations Cup, the Kachuk brothers are two of the faces of the NHL now, and I think a lot of people didn't like them before the Four Nations. Now they're kind of the golden boys of the NHL, and Jayson Tatum didn't get that opportunity, so Steve Kerr, thanks a lot. But there's a graphic that was pulled up about Jayson Tatum versus, some of the greats. There it is, LeBron, MJ, Kobe, KD is on there, and he's the only one with all of those accomplishments, but for some reason he gets so much hate. Why do you think?
Who made this graphic? It's a great graphic.
I want to say it was the NBA Muse.
Not Centel.
Not Centel. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Centel.
real sad about that.
Muse.
There it is.
Extra_Muse. Great graphic here.
Yeah, fantastic.
But with that being said, rest in peace to Centel, dude.
Yeah, we're going to miss you. We're going to miss you. And for the people that said that was a bad account, you're completely wrong. But why do you think Jayson Tatum gets so much hate, and why do you think people don't like him? Because he is one of those kind of perfect guys, even though he doesn't do that much media.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's unwarranted. He's obviously, like that graphic you saw, he's an elite player in our league. Coming off, he's the best player on the best team in the NBA, off a championship. So I feel like it's not right for the hate that he gets. I mean, I think part of it could be he went to Duke and he plays on the Celtics, two polarizing teams. But I mean, Jason's a good dude. He got a shoe. He's elite. Like, he's got everything, So I don't really understand it. I think us as players, I think he has the respect from his peers, and I think that's what means more than anything as an NBA player, the respect you get from your peers. And we know when we play Boston, you got to be ready and game plan around Jayson Tatum.
He mentioned the Olympics. You and he were the two guys that didn't see time. He got in, but he wasn't he didn't play. And the way you handled it was maybe the greatest NBA superstar. Led his team to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Perfect.
Is king here in Indiana, and then you get on Team USA, and it's all right, I understand my role here. You're going to be literally a vibes guy. That is literally what you became for that particular team. And everybody talks about doing that, saying if I was put in a position, I would do it. You actually did it. Did you become tight with the guys on the team because of that? What do you think was a benefit of the way your Olympic experience went, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think my favorite part was just being able to be around the guys, go to practice and see how these guys work on a daily basis, see their habits, and be able to grow relationships. Ever since then, I have relationships with all those guys. When Golden State was here, I went to dinner with Steph, and before the Olympics, me and Steph had no relationship. I actually think he. Are we cool? And he was like, yeah, of course. And, Steph's the best guy ever. But that goes down the line with all those guys. So just being around those guys, getting to grow relationships and getting to learn from them, that was my favorite part. I was there. I'm 24 years old, so just trying to learn as much as I could and, how that can help me, be a good player in the NBA.
You're a great teammate, Dorner, brother. Yeah, go American.
Yeah. Great American.
Go American.
Great American.
All right, Tyrese, we appreciate the hell out of you. We know you have to travel. You're in the middle of a season right now. We thank you for stopping by, hanging out. If our show was shifted an hour earlier window, you would have been able to hang out longer. Instead, you're heading out right now, actually. So you're the man. And the Puma fit is sweet.
I appreciate that.
Says who?
Yeah,
says Pat.
F1 race tonight in Miami?
No, actually, he's hopping
the racing jacket? No, IndyCar.
Are you getting one of those?
He's hopping in that one right there, that funny car that's up there. You're looking at the wrong place, Tyrese. Right here is
right here.
Right here, the one that's kind of diagonal.
IndyCar.
Oh, yeah, IndyCar.
Big IndyCar guy.
Yeah.
Mario Andretti.
Joseph Newgarden you were talking about earlier?
Yes.
I'm actually trying to be a dork for Halloween, so could I get this full outfit?
Look at you right now. Look at you right now.
What are you talking about? Look at me. This is what every NFL team's looking for. This is a
This is
5-tool
not what they're
player.
looking for.
Yeah.
Well, you don't
Kidding
know.
me? You have no idea, pal.
You guys need to figure that out. How can we get you to do the combine?
Yeah, I think we can probably make that happen.
we
I
can
mean,
probably
we're in here in the
do it
morning.
today.
We're here in the morning, and I think we could just kind of mosey down. You got to work the security people, just like you have to at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which you're talking about the Indy 500.
Yep.
You got to have a lot of confidence when you're walking by these security people, because once you get in the building, I think everybody thinks you're okay. Getting into the building, impossible, as you found out this morning.
It's a doozy.
It
There's
is.
a lot of people there, though. It's the biggest single-day sporting event in the world, isn't it?
Well, you're talking about Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Indy
Yes.
500.
Yeah, Indy 500, yes.
Correct.
Absolutely it is. For this, though, for the Combine, getting into the building tough. I think we could get on the field. I think we could.
We can get you on the field.
I would love to. And if I tear my ACL, I can finally sue this place and get my money back that they took from me. It'd be
You
the
deserve it,
perfect,
brother.
It'd kind of be the perfect
You deserve it.
day, you know? All those taxes to build this shithole just for them to,
Shithole.
go-
This place is beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
too
great
beautiful.
stadium. This is a great
It
stadium.
is beautiful. Thank you. And you come to all the Colts games, which is very kind
I'll be
of
at the
you.
Colts games. Yeah. We came from Morgan Wallen.
That's right. We're here for
My
it.
mom came here for T Swift.
Yeah,
you were
me
here
too.
for you were
Great
here
show.
for Swifts.
Yeah, it's a great concert stadium.
It's a great stadium.
Royal Rumble.
Great.
Why weren't you in the Rumble?
That's a
That's
great
a good question.
What
I don't
happened?
know. You know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth here. I wanted to be in the Rumble, and me and Triple H talked about it, and then
Trips.
he was like, he was just like, yeah, a lot of people asking if you're gonna be in the Rumble, and I just laugh in their face. Because I think he's a little scared about me doing the middle of the season.
He don't want that
Remember when Brunson, we got in there and he pushed himself up with the broke hand? And
Yes.
Triple H kind of had a heart attack, so.
Well, it's not just Triple H. Triple H also hears from a lot of people immediately afterwards, like, hey, what do we do? Can we have a little bit of?
Well, if SummerSlam's supposed to be here in the next 5 years, right?
And I believe WrestleMania.
Well, WrestleMania is during the playoffs, so that definitely is.
That'd be worth it, though, right? I mean, you
WrestleMania,
go
grandest
right
stage.
Now
Yeah,
you
come
break
on.
your back.
But like, how would I have got eliminated from the Rumble?
Yeah, that's the issue.
Bring in Jason
yeah, you
Tatum.
think I'm taking that Braun Breaker spear?
Yeah, exactly.
Watch your mouth.
What did he say?
He said, "Bring in Jayson Tatum." Listen, not in this city. You know, remember
guy,
that.
bro.
No, it was in this city, actually.
This guy, bro. Are you trying to bait me to say something negative?
No, not at all.
Not gonna
I'm just
happen.
saying,
He is.
who
Not gonna
eliminated you last
All right,
year?
hey,
This
we
year?
Jim
get-
Everett, Chris Everett situation going on here.
He has to leave. Literally, he has to leave.
What time is it?
23.
Oh yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah,
play.
yeah. Hey, Tyrese, we appreciate the hell out of you.
Appreciate you.
You're the man, and I think the Puma looks cool.
Yeah, enjoy the
Me
race
too.
tonight.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
You're in a plum suit over there.
Hey, I've seen you. Hey,
Hey, dude,
hey,
don't shit on me throwing
I was gonna
shots.
say,
you can never wear plum
Inspector
again.
Gadget, okay?
What you mean?
You know exactly what
You
we
make
mean.
some, you win some, you lose some. You have some. You not every outfit you put on is like that shit was hot.
This one
That's
is.
just weak.
That one is.
This one is.
That. How do we feel about this one today? You looked in the mirror. You said, "You know, I'm killing them today." Shout out Puma.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm getting on the plane cozy. Watch The Wire, go to sleep.
Oh,
great show.
why?
Great show. I'm on
Great.
season
What
5.
season? Oh,
You
on
talked
season
about this.
5.
You
You're not
talked
gonna
about
like
this
how
on
it
All
ends.
Star break.
Yeah, I'm on season 5 right now.
Season
Elite
5's
television.
without a doubt.
It's like Severance.
What show you think I should go to next?
Severance.
Severance is really good. It's
Oh, you
slow
did
though.
tell me that.
Severance.
Severance
Slow.
kind of sucks, if
Slow,
we're being
right?
honest.
You seen Severance?
It takes a little to build.
It's very slow, but I like it.
I watched 3 episodes. I got it.
What
I
happened?
understand. It could be great. Too slow for me. But you could see why it would be great. Like it is a very
Yeah,
very-
9 eps in the first season. It takes 6 to build the place, and
It
then
takes 6 to
And then
build.
7, 8, 9 are. It's a crazy concept. You got.
I'm not a series guy. He is a series
Yes.
guy. I would not
Watch
watch
everything.
series. I don't do that. But that one, watch a couple on his recommendation. You could see how it would be great. But once again, I watch wrestling and football
Something-
and basketball.
And basketball. I was like, calm down.
Yeah, of course. Something a little
And hockey.
quicker.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Keep them going, try to wear, I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA, I'm here,